Hi, I'm Irina Gurieva. I'm an endocrinologist working at the Federal Rehabilitation Center for Disabilities, Chief Endocrinology Sector and Professor of Endocrinology for their Institute of Advanced Medical Studies for Continuous Medical Education for Russia. Well, about awareness on the impact on the diabetic foot disease on health services and our patients. What I would like to say, that I am in the field of diabetic foot care since the beginning. I'm a founding member of Diabetic Foot Study Group and working and particularly on the organizing of diabetic foot care in Russia since 1990. And of course, in comparison with those times of the beginning, of course, it's a tremendous increase of awareness. But it's very different in central large urbanist areas like Moscow, St. Petersburg, Vladivostok, Yekaterinburg, and the other big cities. And of course, it's quite low and not enough in the rural regions because Russia is a huge country. And of course, we work a lot on that, in particularly to motivate patients, of course, and doctors, of course, to do the professional job with knowledge of what is that diabetic foot, what is that diabetic foot risk factor, and of course we would like to fire up this awareness in health authorities and mass media and all absolutely other cultural, sport affairs and scientific field for everybody in Russia. Of course, it's not enough. Never it should be enough. Well, what about my biggest advance in the management of diabetic foot in my career? I'm lucky because since the beginning I'm working on the base of multidisciplinary rehabilitation clinic with shoulder to shoulder with orthopedic doctors, with shoemakers and technicians. And I think it's most advanced for me because we can help very difficult patients to fix the deformation and to stabilize the deformation and to cure neuro-osteoarthropathy. It's much easier for me because it's on my particularly center, their locations. So I'm very lucky that we are close to them. What is my biggest challenge? Since the beginning, my biggest challenge is, of course, to persuade everybody to fulfill their duties properly. So the patients have to examine the feet properly. The doctors has to do their prevention properly, therapeutics, endocrinologists, neurologists, etc. And of course, in the difficult cases, it should be multidisciplinary team, and we have to work together. But I think the biggest challenge for me is to persuade the politicians and the healthcare specialists and the whole system to work and to collaborate together. I think it's my biggest challenge. Would me choose the same career again? It's difficult to say. I have started 30 years ago, and of course 30 years ago I was 30 years younger, and it was my future. It was a challenge. It was difficult to say how it should be covered, all those problems. But nowadays I saw the road, and of course we don't choose the road, the roads choose us. And if nowadays these roads again was offered to me, I think that might be I will start at a little bit earlier road. I would like to choose the prevention road. I would love to choose the earliest screening of risk factors, in particularly like neuropathy, because I believe that early neuropathic changes, both autonomic and sensory motor, are the key player in these disastrous complications. And finally, what makes me happy? As everybody of those who are working on the diabetic food field, I think we're happy when ulcer healed. We're happy to see the eyes of our patients who trust us. And of course, I am a teacher, I'm a professor, and do a lot of education. And of course, when I can see the eyes of my students with surprise, who motivated, and of course who don't even get knowledge but start doing something, I think that that's the most happiness for me. Thank you very much.